Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to 3Y TV. And tonight, it's the last round of the regular season, and it's going to be the Watkins Glen Grand Prix for the OSCA Truck Series. And we're going to settle who's going to make the playoffs here tonight. We have Mr. Last Place. I'm Mike Goodman, and along with me is Carlos Acosta. And yeah, again, welcome here to Watkins Glen. Doing things a little bit differently here to end the regular season. The first ever road course race here for the OSCA Truck Series. And throwing a wrench into some guys who are on the bubble here for the chase. As it sits right now, getting who would get in would be Blake Barney, Riley Marbello, Johnny Eckert, Matt Bayak, Kevin White Jr., who is Mountain Man? I don't know who that is. I'm just going off of Twitter here. David Westergreen and Dylan Gooden. And again, with a lot to be decided here tonight. And the last chance to get in, some guys on the bubble. You'll see it as they get ready to go qualifying. Guys in green are the guys that are locked in. They are safe. The guys that are in yellow, they're on the bubble. They could get knocked out tonight if the guys in red can knock them out, and we'll see more of that as the night goes along. So be sure to stay tuned on the ticker on the top of your screen as we're going to get qualifying underway for the Watkins Glen Grand Prix. Very official name here for the OSCA Truck Series. I like it, Carlos. I'm glad we went with it, and as we get qualifying underway tonight, there'll be two halves as per usual. One half 24 laps, the second half 25. Tonight the top 11 invert, and usually you'll see a big gap of sometimes speed, so that could really play a big monkey wrench for some of these guys that might be a little bit quicker to get through some of the traffic. I know I ran some practice laps out here before the race, and probably about 3-4 seconds off the pace. And so you never know how this field could get jumbled up. First car out on track is that number 90 of Johnny Eckert. He is a guy who has 2 wins. Should be locked in. There's Riley Marbello, who's been Mr. Consistency, losing the points lead a little bit after missing a couple races, but looking to get back in his consistent running ways. We see these guys warming up. Kynan Jones, maybe going into his wheelhouse on a road course here tonight. Guy who joined the season late, but hopefully gets a good finish here tonight. That beautiful 73 machine. Gabriel Edwards out on track here as well, getting his warm-up lap. There's Brandon, give me a dollar. Matt Bayuk is out there now. There's Dollar, and oh, he goes around. I see we renamed the race here. It's no longer the Watkins Glen Grand Prix. I just noticed that. It's the Behemoth race. Oh, man. And then, yeah, it's the same thing, same difference. And making his return here tonight, Shane DiMantova. It's been a while since we've seen him out on the racetrack here in the OSCA. Di Montoya is okay. Juan Pablo Montoya. Oh man. Blake Barney, defending champion, locked into the points, locked in with a couple wins here for the playoffs. See if he can repeat as champion. As you see there, now you see the guys in green, the guys who are locked in. And man, Johnny Eckert laying down a blistering lap of 114. 0.281, almost a second faster than second place guy Riley Marbello. Maybe a guy to keep an eye out too is the guy who's currently scored in third, and that's Chad Frankenfield. He's a guy who's Watkins Glen. One of his favorite tracks is track he's gone to for many years, so it's a track he runs has a lot of laps turned here on iRacing, probably more than he does anywhere else. So it'll be interesting to see what he can get done here tonight. And Kynan Jones getting his lap in. So we got about a minute left of qualifying in the Watkins Glen Behemoth race. And again, the halves tonight, first half 24 laps, second half 25, top 11 invert. Should be a crazy show here tonight. We get ready to go for the Watkins Glen Behemoth race. There we go. Out on track, Tate Lytle making his return. Last time I think we've seen him was, I believe, New Hampshire, getting the win there. Heartbreak Tate had last night in the Elite Joint APS Cup Series, just barely missing out on the Daytona 500. He's probably going to be mad that I even brought that up. But at least getting some laps in here tonight, maybe getting another victory. And the qualifying is in. And Johnny Eckert will get the pole here for tonight's race. This field will grid up. As you see on the pole will be that 90 truck of Johnny Eckert. Alongside him in the front row will be the 92 of Riley Marabello. Kevin White Jr. and Chad Frankenfield will round out row number 2. Row 3 will be Dennis Weeks Jr. He needs a win to get into the playoffs. We'll see if he can get it done. And Bayuk will start in 6th. Gabriel Edwards in row number 4. Alongside him will be Dylan Gooden. D. Mantova in 9th place. And then Blake Barney, defending champ, will round out the top 10. Brandon Gimme a Dollar in row number 6 alongside Seth Rawls. And then going through the rest of the field, the 56 of Tate Lytle. He'll be starting inside of row number 7, and alongside of him, it'll be Dallas Myhan. Vic Bloom, he got a win earlier tonight in the OSCA ARCA series at Stafford Speedway. He'll look to relive that magic. He needs a win to get in and advance into the playoffs, and Kynan Jones will start 16th. Adam Tepe will start 17th alongside Austin McCurdy in the 47. Vincent Isabella, it's been a while since we've seen him out on track. He'll start 19th, and Richard Mendonça in the 46 will start alongside him in 20th. Stephen Hot Shoe Schumann will start 21st alongside Nicholas Monticelli in the 27. David Westergreen will start 23rd. He's on that bubble. He's currently locked in, but if someone else in the red gets a win tonight, he might get bumped out. And also alongside him is Kyle Walgren. And then rounding out the rest of the field, Thomas Capuano in 25th. I can tell you I am not starting 26th. And Glenn Bundren Jr. in 27th. Probably put him into 26th. And Dale Admonson will round out the field in the last position. 27th. Sorry about my name being in there. I just felt left out so many weeks here that I wanted to be thrown in there. And as the field is rolling off, and they're going to get ready to go green flag racing. Again, 24 laps here in half number 1. Let's see if, right now I think the guy to beat will be Johnny Eckert. He's been showing speed all night long in practice, laying down those blistering laps. We'll see if he can keep it between the ditches. Sometimes he can be fast. And these cars going into turn 1 could be, these heavy braking zones, turn 1 through the S's here. You got to be on the razor's edge to make sure you can keep that pace up. I know I was running those practice laps. That's where I was losing a lot of time. And after you get through those S's, you come up to the bus stop. And with that bus stop here as well, it's a heavy braking zone. This is where sometimes passing can be done, but you got to be cautious. See the field getting ready to go through there, and then after that, see some of the guys skipping it through the pace laps here. You have the carousel right after here as well, long swooping corner. And then right before we go to green, we'll go through turns 10 and 11. The last two corners until you get to the front straightaway as their field is exiting the carousel now. Getting ready to go green. Just to let you know, no cautions unless they're in this heavy areas, probably turn 1, the S's, maybe even the bus stop if there's a big pile up. Yeah, besides the halfway, the halves, but there's no cautions besides local yellows. Oh yeah, it's technically a checkered. We're we're still figuring out, but yeah, no yellows during the halves here tonight. But we're gonna get ready to go green flag racing as the pace car is gonna dive off. And Johnny Eckert's going to lead him to the green flag here in the Watkins Glen Behemoth race here for the OSCA Truck Series. The regular season finale is underway. As Marabello looks like he gets a good jump going down into turn 1. He's going to take the lead. Chad Frankenfield on that outside trying to get a good run as well. Side by side with Johnny Eckert trying to get through the S's. Looks like Eckert's going to be able to hold off and stay in that second position. See Riley Marabello with that great start, able to hold on to the lead, but we've seen how much faster Johnny Eckert can be. But it might be a case of saving those tires a little bit, those blistering laps that he's ran. Right now trying to be patient with the top 3 running right there of Marabello, Eckert, and Frankenfield. Now Frankenfield looks like he's going to put the heat on. We're getting ready to complete lap number 1. Riley Marabello holding on and keeping that lead here on lap number 1. And Kynan Jones off the racetrack in the sand pit there. I believe that was down into turn number 10. He's able to keep going. He's going to be... Let's see if we can get the replay up on the screen. And how about this? Now even Johnny Eckert gets passed by Chad Frankenfield, along with now Kevin White Jr. putting a little bit of heat on that 90 machine. So as all that speed that he's shown in practice right now, we'll get a replay of the 73 going into, I believe that's the final corner. Looks like, maybe a little bit of contact with that 42 of Vincent Isabella. Yeah, it's quite a bit. You see the damage even before he goes around and into the tire barriers. Maybe heavy damage for Kynan Jones. Right now he is currently being scored. He's currently off track, I believe. No, he's still out there. He's in 25th position. But back up front, Riley Marabello cruising away. He's got about a 1.3 second lead over Chad Frankenfield. According to the old and I'm blanking on his name now. Give me help here, Carlos. Why can't... Yeah, what's the scheme there? Matt Crafton. Wow, I blanked on that name there. Yeah, the old Thor Sport. He's probably getting excited because Paul Menard going to be joining Thor Sport, I believe, this weekend. I know he's running the truck race. Might not be Thor Sport. I can't remember if that's exactly correct. Yeah, I think he is. Okay, he is running Thor Sport. So Paul Menard. Oh, don't think it is. Okay. But anyway, Chad Frankenfield sporting the Thor Sport car, and then you see some timing and scoring there on the screen. See Chad Frankenfield looking out back, and he's got a mirror full of Johnny Eckert. Maybe biding his time, but currently, again, Riley Marabello holding that steady lead. We're about second on back. It's a pretty tight battle between Frankenfield, Eckert, White, and Weeks is even pretty close, battling in with that group. So it's going to be interesting to see even these guys, you know, back in the 11th position. Vic Bloom currently holds on to that spot. Again, a guy who's in a pretty desperate situation if he wants to get into the playoffs. If he can maintain that spot there or around that 11th or 10th position, start up front in half number 2. But I believe he might even need 2 wins to get in. And then you see Weeks, he's the guy who is the highest running guy who's on the bubble, needs to get that win. He's came so close so many times this year, just hasn't had the luck. He's currently in the 5th position. But right now, it seems like, you know, Bradley Marabell is really not pulling away, but he's pulling away just by a little bit, maintaining that gap. 1.7 seconds lead over Chad Frankenfield, but a long way to go, 24 laps. $20 laps to go out of the 24 laps, so a lot of racing to go here tonight for the first half. And I'm still wondering that just the pace I've seen. Oh, Eckert there getting sideways there a little bit, almost gets in the wall, maybe kissed it a little bit. And you gotta wonder if he's trying to save his tires, but the way he got through the S's there, maybe not. Because now that lead is almost up to 2 seconds. And here's that battle right around that transfer spot. Vic Bloom battling Seth Rawls, again another guy who needs a good night here tonight for a last chance Hail Mary to get into the playoffs. So Rawls needs a win in the top 5, so he needs some luck to change here so far early in the going. Change his luck around. We look through the field here. There we have Westergreen battling. He's on that bubble. Still supporting that. We got a replay up. I believe that's Walgren in the 36. Just getting around out of turn number 1, and I can tell you that it's very tricky here tonight. Usually in the trucks, it's not that bad getting out of turn 1 and putting that power down, maybe a little bit loose, but seems like tonight it's a little snappier than what I've seen in the past out of these trucks. It almost handles more like the old Cup cars a little bit. So you got to be a little disciplined, and if you slip up on that gas a little too much, around she goes, and that's exactly what happened to the 36 of Kyle Walgren. See Westergreen battling Dale Admonson, who started in the rear of the field trying to work his way up. Showing some decent pace, and Westergreen doing all he can. Clinging on to that playoff spot. They roll through the carousel. Ooh, looks like McCurdy a little bit off track. I believe that's McCurdy in the 47. Going a little bit off-roading, just a little bit. No harm, no foul. And oh, there might be a foul. Oh, Edmondson is out in the sand. He keeps his foot in it. And I believe he was able to stay out of the dirt. And he kept it going. But a bunch of track position lost as he's now going to fall back into the 20th position after battling Westergreen. Speaking of battling Westergreen, Thomas Capuano going down into turn 1. Looks like Healy's going to make that move. Westergreen, I think he just wants to keep that truck in one piece. And oh, around goes McCurdy. And he's going to get in the wall. He got a little bit too much gas here. We'll see the replay. And oh, Edmondson, not enough brakes there. And man, good job of keeping it off the tire barrier there as well. It's a lot of action going around about mid to back of the pack here. Guys trying to settle it out. And a lot of times, all you can hope for, if you're not a road course regular, or if they're not really in your wheelhouse, just keep it in between the ditches per se, And McCurdy driving it hard into turn 1, getting on the gas just a little bit too much. Heavy hit to the inside barrier. And again, he's going to be back in 22nd now. And around goes my hand. And in front of, Isabella gets in the wall. The 46 of Mendonça gets around as well. They're able to correct it, but track position lost by those three after a wild spin coming out of turn 11. So again, some of these guys, if you're a guy like Westergreen here, I know his goal going into tonight, and maybe a little teammate owner battle here as Bloom gets in the back of my hand just a little bit. As you see, Isabella almost gets by, tries to correct it, and just gets into Mendonça, and they both go around. And that was almost synchronized between the three of them there. But able to kind of keep it amongst those three, and then you're able to keep on going. And another car off track, Dylan Gooden in the 75. He's another one that's in the playoff hunt as of right now. He looks like he's got some damage to his truck going off course. He's back in the 22nd position. Yeah, Westergreen needs a decent night, or one of those guys in red not to have a good night. So basically, needs to have a decent night. Keep her between the ditches. And Edmondson goes around, overcorrects it. And again, he stays off the wall. So man, he's having a lot of scary moments. The old Steve Park. And McCurdy goes around as well. And it looks like he just pulled off the track there after that one. But man, some of the action those guys are having here tonight in the back of the pack. So just keep her on track and don't look out. Or look out now, or don't look out. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Here comes Johnny Eckert. And this battle between these two have been going on since basically the start of the green flag. And contact between the 90 and 57. Looks like Eckert's going to take that position. So maybe trying to turn up that wick a little bit. We've seen him in practice. But the best lap turn so far has been by Riley Marabello. We know that Eckert can run those 114s as well. Currently his fast time is a 1:15.148. But now he's already surrendered almost a 4.5 second lead to Marabello with 15 laps to go. So we'll see if he can catch up and get up there. Johnny Eckert getting that second spot, and there you see Riley Marabello he's basically in cruise control mode at the moment. Ooh, gets a little squirrely there. Didn't see who that was. And Vic Bloom currently in 9th spot. He's getting those guys Rawls and Bloom, those guys in red who need a really good night. Currently in a pretty good spot for that transfer position. Right now, it would be Gabriel Edwards that would be starting on the pole for half number 2. Dennis Weeks looks to be off the pace, as he's starting to drop back now. Something I think exactly what David Westergreen wanted to see. And again, a guy like Westergreen who started back in the 23rd position, currently running 15th, keeping it safe so far. But Dennis Weeks, I don't know if he got off track there, falling all the way back into 16th position. personal experience-wise, a lot of times you can get a halfway decent finish if you can just keep her between the ditches, as they say, or keep her on the racetrack. And some of these guys that are aggressive that might have a little bit more speed, you got to push it to the absolute limits. And I, personal experience, have never gone close to doing that because I would definitely go around. These guys do a lot better job than what I would be doing. But it's oh so hard to do when you're in a battle for the points. And Kynan Jones gets into the outside wall going into turn 10. So the rough night continues for that 73 after it all started when him and Vincent Isabella get together. Weeks is trying to regain a little bit of his track position now, as he's going to go on the outside. I think Western Green's just going to give that position up. Weeks, I think, does have some decent pace. Looks like some cars or trucks are even going down pit road. They might have to pit in these halves. Not sure who is that on pit road. A couple trucks on pit road. Atepe is on pit road, getting service done to his machine. Currently out front, Riley Marbello. Tate Lytle's coming down pit road as well, making his pit stop. I believe Frankenfield came down pit road as well. He's fallen all the way back to 9th, but I think he came down pit road. As that Rawls coming down, you see green flag pit stops starting to commence. And we're halfway through half number 1. If you look at that scoring wise, it looks like ever so slightly Johnny Eckert is closing that gap to Riley Marabello. So playing maybe the long con game here. We'll see who's going to do what as far as pit sequence there. He's gained about a half a second. Cut it down to 3 seconds already. You see Marbello now maybe having to deal with lap traffic, so we might have a battle for the lead depending how these pit stops will work out for the top 2. And these 2 guys safe. These guys can kind of let it hang out. And then, leader down pit road. Riley Marabello's coming in, and I would almost expect our new leader, Johnny Eckert, will be coming down next time by. Don't want to be out on the track too long. And White Jr. will also follow behind him. So far, Bayuk and Eckert, the only 2. And Mendonça goes around again, makes some heavy contact. So action everywhere on this racetrack. He's waiting to see if he gets an opportunity to turn around. I think he's just gonna get a tow. And the 27, and that is Nicholas Monticelli getting off course there as well. He's back in the 19th position. Trying to get it turned around there. I believe he's right in the bus stop, I believe. Trying to get on track without getting into others. And we'll see this time by if Johnny Eckert comes down pit road after the guy he's battling for position. Riley Marbello pit last time by. We'll see if he comes in. Looks like he's going to stay out one more lap. At least you see another car behind them going down pit road. Currently with the pit stops still cycling through, you see 15 cars on the lead lap, but no! Shane DiMantova gets around, makes heavy contact with the inside wall. Too much beans. And that's happened. Again, it seems more prevalent when I was doing my test runs out here tonight. It seems so much more prevalent tonight than I've seen it in recent memories running the Glen. And we've seen a lot of guys fall victim of that, and Shane was one just to have that happen just now as he goes around. He's currently scored in 4th, but he might have to come down pit road with some heavy damage to that front end, and he's got to make his pit stop as well. You see Westergreen coming down pit road to get his service. See how clean that truck is. He's still got 10 laps to go to see if he can keep that truck as clean as possible. As you see going down the front straightaway, Johnny Eckert staying out one more lap again. He's got about a 30-second lead over Marbello, so he's going to have to make maybe just a splash and go is maybe in his plans and run it out as long as he can. These guys maybe short pitting just a little bit. As you see, Riley Marabello, they're currently scored in the 3rd position now. Chad Frankenfield is right behind, about a second or so behind Marabello, but you see that gap closing. Marabello closing in just ever so slightly on Johnny Eckert. Mantova's going down pit road to get some of that damage fixed as well. I would Johnny Eckert, I'd be surprised if he stays out too much longer. With how some of this is playing out, Marabello closing that gap. See if he can get in and out of pit road as quickly as possible. Bayak here, I think he's ooh, yeah, Eckert's still staying out. Oh, he turned out pit road. Okay, he did made an aggressive turn down pit road. So it's going to be crazy to see. We're going to see the race here as you see Johnny on the bottom go down pit road. Riley Marabello currently going to be going into turn number 10. If he can get off in time, Matthew Bayak is going to assume the race lead as he did not pit stop yet. And it looks like Johnny Eckert's going to get off pit road ahead, about 5 seconds ahead of the 92. So I'm wondering if that was a gas and go for the 90, little pit stop strategy. There's currently 2 cars that have not pitted yet, and that's actually, well, Bayak is, I believe, coming down pit road. Maybe. Yeah, he's Gooden, and I believe, did Vic Bloom come to pit? Or is he on pit? Oh, he's on pit road, okay. He has come down pit road. So that should, once the 29 makes, oh, he goes off track. Leader off the track in the sand. Let's see if now maybe he takes it down pit road. No, he's gonna stay out. So yeah, he's trying something. Staying out on the racetrack, holding on to that lead, but it's down to 4 seconds over Johnny Eckert, and about 4.5 seconds behind him is the 92 of Riley Marabello. Those guys have pitted again. The 29 is the only car out on the racetrack that has not pitted amongst your leaders here. And Marbello's still got that rearview mirror somewhat filled by that 57 of Chad Frankenfield. Gabriel Edwards currently in that 14th position. Getting down to 7 laps to go. Again, the 29, your race leader, has not yet pitted. Went off track here last lap. Let's see how he gets through this time around. Nice and smooth here. But that lead just dwindling down ever so quickly. See, Westergren gives the position to Johnny Eckert. He's a lap down there. See Bayak going down pit road. That will give the lead back to Johnny Eckert with 6 laps to go. Under a 4-second lead. See if that strategy pays off for him. Waited about as long as he could, longer than most everyone besides the 29. Down pit road, come down pit road, so. Winding down this race indeed. That lead's kind of plateaued. Actually, Eckert pulling away. He's got a clean racetrack where you see Marbello's got some lap traffic ahead of him and Westergreen, and I believe that's Hot Shoe Schumann ahead of him as well in that 24 Tennessee machine. Hindering now, that lead's over 4 seconds, so Johnny's able to run about as hard as he can. Probably the hardest we've seen him run in a little bit. Let's assume that lead. .3 seconds this time by. Let's see, Marbell's trying to get around Westergreen. Still got 2 lap cars ahead of him and Gooden and Schumann. And last time by, Johnny Eckert ran about a second, faster that last lap. Clean racetrack does a lot here as Marbell is still battling through that lap traffic here. 5 laps to go in the Watkins Glen Behemoth race. Half number 1. And again, if the checkered flag flew, if everything stands as we see it right now, Dallas Myhand will get the pole for half number 2 as the top 11 will invert. It looks like it's as close Chad could get to Marbello. Looks like he's settled in that 3rd position. I think now Marbello's through that lap traffic. He's going to have about as clean of a racetrack as Johnny Eckert. Now Chad Frankenfield's going to get by that last lap car as well as Gooden surrenders the position down in turn number 1. So now they letting the dogs eat here a little bit, and Marbell is closing in quite a bit here as he's now under 4 seconds. There is 1 car between Marbello and Eckert, and that is the 60 of Capuana, 1 lap car that is yet to play a factor for that 92. We hit the line, 3 laps to go. You're in half number 1. Johnny Eckert, for most of this regular season here, without a win. But again, as of late, really cranking it up. Already has 2 wins under his belt, looking to pick up his 3rd. A guy, we interviewed him not that long ago. He was worried about getting into the playoffs, didn't feel safe. Coming into tonight, he's locked in. Further solidifying his chances to do so. Hearing over the race chatter, Marbello did make a comment. Oh, we see someone going off the course in the bus stop there. Marbello. That wasn't Weeks, okay. Didn't see what car that was, but it's 1 car off, trying to get back going there in the bus stop. But Marbello making a comment over the race radio that he has been having a hard time catching, where he's been catching the lap traffic just in the worst positions. I don't think that's, I think the lap traffic has been overall pretty courteous, but a lot of times on these road courses, you can catch them just at the wrong spot where it slows you up ever so slightly. As it seemed like once these guys get clean racetrack, Marbello and Eckert have pretty close to the same lap times. That gap's pretty much maintained around 4 seconds. About the same thing goes for that 57 of Chad Frankenfield. We might have a battle here too in a little bit with the invert position between Myhand and Gabriel Edwards. I believe that battle's fairly close with 2 laps to go. He's right there. So that could be a big factor going into half number 2. See who could start up front. See that on the top of the screen. They come down to their 2 laps to go. Johnny Eckert just cruising along. He's going to come and take the white flag. 1 more lap to go here in half number 1. It looks like so far they still got, oh, look like another car, lap car off the track. Brandon Dollar right into the bus stop. We're out of turn 1. Still sitting there. Agony of defeat off the racetrack. Couple more corners to go. Going through the bus stop. Johnny Eckert, all he's got to do is cruise, put it in cruise control, come on home, and he'll pick up his 3rd win of the season. Further solidify himself in these playoffs that will start next week at Darlington. So as we've been saying all year long, can't say it quite yet, he's not running. He's not running the scheme here tonight, but coming out of turn number 11, coming to the checkered flag, it's coming Rome. Johnny Eckert's going to win half number 1 of the Watkins Glen Behemoth race. Marabella will come home 2nd, Frankenfield 3rd. And I believe Tate Lytle will make it home in the 4th position. And a little gamesmanship, I've been hearing they were asked if Johnny took tires, and he just said maybe. So still unsure if he did take those tires. Oh, we have a car going around there as Capuano. The rest of the field takes the checkered flag. See Weeks coming home in 7th. So that totally eliminated a couple drivers here. I believe that was My Hand, Dewar Capuano, and who else was that, Carlos? And Edwards, Monticelli, and Dollar are also fully on. Schumann, it was the other one. I'm sorry, that was eliminated. Yeah. So now the guys that still have a shot are in the red. Those guys were pretty much, they had a puncher's chance, and that was about it. It was long distance, big outside shot. But again, Johnny Eckert getting that another clutch win here to further solidify himself into the chase. And you see the final running order here of half number 1. Again, the top 5: Eckert, Marabello, Frankenfield, Lytle, and White Jr. And you see guys like Vic Bloom, Seth Rawls, and Dennis Weeks. They'll be starting towards the front here in half number 2. So that'll be a good way for them to start off the half number 2. And then Gabriel Edwards did get that position over Dallas Myhand. He'll be starting up front on the pole here for half number 2 as well. And Shane DiMantova will be on the outside. Still coming home in 10th after that hard hit to the inside wall. Westergreen on the bubble there in 17th. Still has another half to chew his nails and see if he can get in. Especially some of those guys when we look through the rest of the field. And Isabella, there he had some hard contact there as well. Blake Barney, he's locked into the championship race, or the playoffs. He's back in finishing 25th. We get another half to do so as we get warmed up, get ready for half number 2. These guys getting last lap practice in. But another 25 laps here to settle it out, get it going. It's a beautiful, beautiful facility there. Even the virtual one looks pretty scenic. See some cars getting final practice, maybe some final adjustments to the cars and see if they get anything going here. Could be curious to see Riley Marabello and Eckert on an even playing field once again. How this could be settled. One more lap could be different strategies going around this time. That's one thing, you know, with the current NASCAR, the real life NASCAR rules where they have the stages. Sometimes the pit strategy and stuff like that you don't really see play out week in, week out, especially at a lot of these at the road courses. It's always kind of monkey see, monkey do. It was kind of cool to see these these guys. Carlos making office references in my ear here, making me giggle. Regain my composure now, but it's cool to see some people do different strategies and able to see different outcomes. You've seen how far back Johnny Eckert was going into the before the pit stops commenced, and then able to get back out ahead, be about 4 seconds ahead of our leader, of Riley Marabello. Always kind of fun to watch. The strategy is gone in real life NASCAR. It's cool to see that it's still playing out here in iRacing and the OSCA Truck Series. As you see the field now gridding up for half number 2. Again, Gabriel Edwards on the pole. On the inside there in that purple machine in the number 52. He's looking for a good run. Shane DeMandova, we've seen him go around. He's looking to rebound here. He'll be starting on the outside of row number 1. Vic Bloom, again, these two guys, both these guys in row number 2, Vic Bloom and Seth Rawls, will be starting 3rd and 4th, respectively. They need a good run. They're going to be up in the position. They're going to have a shot. So they're going to have to do something crazy to get in. Another guy, Dennis Weeks, starting in that 5th position. Let's see if he can get it done. If he made the grid, he might not have made the grid. He might have missed the field. I believe that's developing here in the Dennis Weeks in the 97. He needed a good run. And I believe he's not making the grid. That'll move everyone up on that inside row. So now it'll be Kevin White Jr., who would be starting 7th, move him up into the 5th spot. See the two ID Racing teammates, they're going down in turn 1 on the pace lap here, giving each other a little moral support bump. So hearing now. So hearing now, just a live update. Westergreen is locked in with Robert Hill Jr. not making the race. He is on the bubble. So Bloom or Rawls wins this race. Or if Westergreen's now locked in. I believe if Tepe. I'm just trying to get the live updates over the radio. So Westergreen is now locked in. Put Robert Hill Jr., who is not here tonight, on the bubble. It's a little bit of a developing scenario. I think Westergreen now can let it loose here a little bit. So we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Some of those guys in red still need to get a win. DJ Weeks, he's all the way back after he was going to be starting in 5th, missed the grid. He needed a win, so he's going to put himself in a hole to start off this race if he doesn't get out on the racetrack right away. Or now he's in. Now he says he's out there in 5th. My bad. Now we're going back to green flag racing here in half number 2 of the Watkins Glen Behemoth race. Gabriel Edwards will lead him down to the green flag, and oh, Dollar gets into the inside wall right off the start. And man, that was a crazy way to start the race. And going down, looks like Gabriel Edwards is, no, actually Shane is going to take over the lead over Gabriel Edwards down in through the S's. So we'll see with track position what some of these guys can do once they get there. And some of those guys that showed that speed, Johnny Eckert, Frankenfielder, 7th, 8th, trying to battle through some of this traffic. They got to be patient. Oh, and Ventova, oh, he almost goes around. Goes around, and he's going to lose the lead. And oh, Tepe goes around as well. So a lot of developing stories. I believe Shane just alt-forward it. Exit out of the race after he lost. They'll assume the lead to Gabriel Edwards in the 52. He's going to lead lap 1. And oh, there's more cars almost locking it up coming through. Turns 10 and 11. And Frankenfield goes around. He gets turned. Oh, man. So after a great run, Frankenfield whipping it around. Oh man, looked like maybe a 3 wide situation. So Johnny Eckert now moving up into the 4th place, our defending winner. Vic Bloom in 2nd. He's a guy who needs a good run. He's in position to do so right now. So we'll see what's going on. Tate Lytle looks like 3 wide going down in 11. That's not going to work. And Lytle was there. Just a wild start to the race here as Frankenfield gets back going. He's getting things going, but right now Gabriel Edwards checking out from the field, so using that track position to stay up front and hold that lead here as we're coming down to complete lap number 2. Vic Bloom. Again, a guy who needs a good night here tonight for his last chance to get in to the playoffs. But behind him, we've seen Johnny Eckert. He can play patient. Battling already in the top 5 after a couple laps. And looks like Matthew Bayak, we've seen him lead a couple laps on the pit cycle. He's going to move into that 2nd position. Oh, Johnny Eckert's there on Vic Bloom as well. He's going to try to take 3rd position away going down into the bus stop. He is in position to do so. To move Johnny Eckert, our race 1 winner already up, or heat 1, half 1, there we go, half 1. I'll call it the same thing one of these times. He's already in the 3rd position. Bloom's going to give the position up there, the 4th spot, to Tate Lytle. Get him. So right now, holding on to a pretty steady lead is Gabriel Edwards. Looks like Bayak's going to, I think it's Bayou, but I always say Bayak. I have fun mispronouncing people's names, but he's going to give that 2nd position away to Johnny Eckert. And now he's going to hunt down our leader, Gabriel Edwards. Looking pretty stout, leading some laps here, but he knows he's got a fast hot rod behind him. Ran a little over a 2nd faster last lap over Gabriel Edwards. Maybe a matter of time before that gap closes, but got to give an A for effort to that 52 truck for holding on to the lead as long as he can. Getting those sponsors on TV, giving it a good run, giving it a good show, and he's doing that so far here tonight. See, Frankenfield, even after he spun, he's already worked himself up, already into the 13th position, but it's going to be a monumental... Oh, and Edwards off the racetrack. our leader, he tried to hold him off as long as he can, maybe digging a little harder than he normally would. He's going to give up that lead. Ooh, there's contact in the back, I believe, Vic Bloom. See that 50? Oh, 52. He's trying to drive. They're driving as hard. These guys that kind of flipped on the invert, they're testing their comfort zone here early on, trying to keep pace for that 90, but he's been stout all night long. Their guys are doing as best they can, and you have to be on that razor's edge all the time if you want to keep pace. And Ubeak flirting with and off in the bus stop. Oh man, Gabriel Edwards, he's going to lose a couple more spots here. Again, just what you got to do on that razor's edge, and Edwards was on it. Tried so hard. A rough lap here for Gabriel Edwards. Last time by he was leading. He's going to probably complete this lap. Ooh, it looks like is that the Capuano that's off the racetrack. Tate Lytle now going to take the position away from Gabriel Edwards. Vic Bloom will get around there as well. That 99, he needs that good half here as well. But oh man, checking out right now is Johnny Eckert, about a 3-second lead over the 29 of Matthew Bayak. So much different position he was in half number 1. Sitting pretty. Dylan Gooden, he's running pretty strong after having a rough half number 1. Oh, Gabriel Edwards looked like he was about to go around again. I don't know if he did. He got loose. Looked like he wasn't able to keep it going. But Dylan Gooden right now holding a pretty wheel there in the 3rd position, showing some pretty good pace as well. Running some decent lap times. Right now, Johnny Eckert just running, man, over a second faster than anyone else in the field right now. Just that benefit of having that clean air, run about as hard as he wants to. And I think this track more so than anywhere else, the differences in speeds, the difference of skill level that can happen at these road courses. These inverts can play a major role, and Johnny Eckert did it masterfully. Right now, Tate Lytle's on that back bumper of the 75. And Gooden needs a good half to make sure he's locked in. He's pretty much locked in, I believe, in the playoffs now as well. But Tate Lytle behind him, he's out here for fun. He's out here to run well. He's running a pretty good race after finishing 4th in half number 1. There you see now Tate Lytle getting on the inside, taking that position away, going down into turn number 10. 19 laps to go. Eckert, Bayak, Lytle, Gooden, and Bloom, your top 5. Gabriel Edwards there in 6th, still hanging on. The guy who finished 2nd, Riley Marabello, 14 seconds back, wasn't able to get through that traffic very well. There's Vincent Isabella right now rounding out your top 10. We didn't really get the chance to see what he had in store after getting involved in an early wreck with Mandanson. Ooh, there's Blake Barney off the racetrack. So move now Dennis Weeks into top 10. You see right ahead of Vincent Isabella is Chad Frankenfield. We've seen him spin early on in the race. Working his way up to 8th position already. So we're going to see if maybe some different pit strategies again. Going down to half number 2, maybe some of these guys that might be desperate for doing something different, rolling the dice. Hot Shoe Schumann and Blake Barney, man, he's got some heavy damage to his machine. Having a rough go of it on the road course here. As the guys are completing lap number 9 of 25. 17 laps to go here in the Watkins Glen Behemoth race. Half number 2. Looks like Weeks might have got around Isabella for that 9th spot, so Isabella back into the 10th position again. Oh, almost going around. Is he gonna do it? No, he saves it. Is that the double 0 there? Blake Barney. Man, it's almost like he's running on the NASCAR heat. They have that dirt road course. I think he might be calling it a night. Staying it out of the way, out of the competitor's way. And he's gonna park it for the night. He's locked into the playoffs. He'll look to rebound next week at Darlington. Big Kitty did not have a good setup for him here tonight on the road courses, but I'd expect Barney to be back up front next week. And here's a battle back right outside the top 10. You got Schumann, Capuano, Kynan Jones, who is 3 laps down on the racetrack, but holds pretty decent pace here. He has a rough night. Looks like Capuano's going to move up into that 11th position over Schumann. '24 car. He was a guy who was in the championship 4 last season. This year unable to have the luck he had last year. It's just a rough season for him, not making the playoffs this year. Riley Marbell is still trying to work his way back up through the field in that 7th position. 15 seconds off of Johnny Eckert, who's pulled away almost 6-second leads. He's really chugging along here. Been a class in the field in practice. Still running 114s. For most of the field here is running 115s at best, low 115s for Marbello. Chad Frankenfield's the only other one to basically match his lap time. He's back in that 8th position. Maybe even for Frankenfield, maybe that spin out made him mad, makes him run a little harder. As there you see Marbello moving past Gabriel Edwards for that 6th position. It looks like Frankenfield will as well. But last half, Chad really couldn't make work of that 92, but right there he's on his bumper. Old midnight Chad Frankenfield. He thought the lights were turned off on his chances of a good run after he got spun out lap 1. He's looking on the inside, and he's going to take that 6th position away. Trying to power on the outside, man. He's giving it all he's got right now. I'm curious to see what Frankenfield's lap time is this time by, if he's going to be still faster. I think maybe working around that traffic, he is a little bit slower. So now with the tire fall off, now everyone's in the 115, 116s. There's a big gap now if Frankenfield still wants to work his way into that top 5 between him and Vic Bloom. About a 5-second gap between those two. See there in the bottom corner of the screen, Johnny Eckert, he's just on cruise control, still pulling away. 6.3 second lead. Doesn't even look like he's pushing that car hardly at, or the truck hardly at all. As we're getting pretty close to the time, we might see some guys coming down pit road very shortly. "13 laps to go here in half number 2. I believe Frankenfield decided to hit pit road this time by. So his strategy's in the works, and Gabriel Edwards, overshoots the corner. He's in a battle with that 92 machine, who's not having quite as good of a half as he had last time. Leading much of the race. See a little bit of damage there to the 92 as well. Might be hampering his speed just a little bit. But now that we have seen Frankenfield dive down pit road, will that force other drivers to maybe hit pit road early? I think Johnny Ecker, we've seen him. He's probably not too worried about hitting pit road. He was one of the last guys to do it last half. We see Westergreen on pit road right now as well. After getting locked in. Still having a decent run. I'm sure he would take a 13th place run where he's currently at right now. Not being a road course ace as some of these guys are out here. I know exactly how that goes. Looks like Vic Bloom will retake the 4th position as Tate Lytle's down pit road. So now we're starting to see what strategies these guys will take. Tires, no tires. We'll have to ask Johnny Eckert after the race is done if he took tires. I think the statute of limitations after this race is done, he can reveal his secret. He did not do that after half number 1 between the drivers chat. We'll have to see if he'll do it in post-race interview. He's going to continue to stay out on the racetrack. Coming down to 11 laps to go, 7-second lead. There's really no pressure here for him. Come down pit road. Vincent Isabella currently still scored in the 10th position. There's Frankenfield, who's been down pit road. And Tepe 9 laps down. After a rough start to this going, and Frankenfield working his way around Isabella, so Frankenfield works himself back into the top 10. Again, already down pit road. See if his short pitting, Chad's likes to short pit. See if that will pay off for him. It might not be a winning move. That spin might have knocked him out of contention for a win. Let's see if it will garner him maybe a top 5 finish. Monticelli there, you see him out on the racetrack. 13th 1 lap down currently scored as the pit cycles are still being cycled through here. See more guys opting to stay out a little bit longer. Johnny Ecker kind of showed his hand last half. And also when you're probably the fastest car still on the racetrack, you can kind of do whatever he wants to do. Tepe will get around Vincent Isabella. I don't believe he's came down pit road. Oh, Tepe's off the racetrack. A rough night for him continues. I don't think Isabella's been down pit road either. And we do have one car down pit road, and that's going to be the Capuano, I believe. Capuano. And Tepe's down pit road after getting off course. There's Gabriel Edwards and Dennis Weeks battling it out here for the 6th position. Dennis Weeks has been down pit road already, where Gabriel Edwards has not, and the fresher tires have shown. Tate Lytle, who has gone down pit road, the fastest lap of the night, breaking into the 113s. Tate Lytle showing some muscle here. And right now he is leading the guys who have been down pit road, but maybe not Dennis Weeks. I'm still not quite sure what the story is there on Weeks. I thought we'll find out as we cycle through here. Right now, Johnny Eckert pulling away almost 10 seconds. Might get there by the time he pits. Isabella takes his Yankees machine down pit road. Eight laps to go here in half number 2. In the middle of green flag pit stops. There's Brandon Dollar 4 laps down. See, right off the start, he had heavy contact with an inside wall. Relegated him to quite a few laps down here. Riley Marabello trying to work through that lap traffic. Ooh, 3 laps down. I believe. In one car. Ooh, Capuano and Isabella out of the race right now. You see on the scoreboard. Do we have a replay of what happened to Capuano? Oh, we're working on it? All right, we're working on the replay there. As Johnny Eckert still cruising away to working on getting that 10-second lead. One guy who is also closing in that gap is Frankenfield and Lytle. And we do not have a replay of what happened to the 60 of Thomas Capuano. I believe he just pulled off the racetrack, that 60 machine, calling it a night early. Oh, Brendan Dollar's going to go around. He's going to maybe pull himself off the racetrack as well, as he's had a rough half here, rough night overall. One guy who's not having a rough night is that 90 of Johnny Eckert. Oh, someone goes out around ahead of him. Oh, heavy contact there by the 55 of Dollar. There's 2 shots, man, to the... He's still sitting there, whoever's... Oh, there, he's got off track. Coming to 6 laps to go. Eckert's got his 10-second lead. Yet to make that final for the only pit stop of the race. I believe that might have been Kynan Jones that went off the racetrack there in the bus stop. Gooden's coming down but getting his service done. He surrenders that 3rd position. So we'll see how... Ooh! 27 of Monticelli. He's going to go off track. He's currently scored in the 12th position, 1 lap down. Weeks is going to come down pit road. Get his service done. So right now it is Tate Lytle, the lead guy that has come down pit road. 35 seconds back. He ran that fastest lap earlier on in the race. Mirroring laps with Johnny Eckert. He blew down pit road, I believe, as well. So Frankenfield's going to work the way around the 99. Move Frankenfield into the 6th position. Oh, heavy contact. Oh. Oh, man. Tate Lytle, who had all the speed. None of the luck here tonight as him and Gabriel Edwards get together. I think Vic Bloom gets involved, so heavy contact in the bus stop. Monticelli goes around. Oh, boy. So, interesting turn of events here in this race. Wow. So you have Tate Lytle. We'll get a replay going. It looked like Tate Lytle, who might have had an outside shot at maybe getting a half victory, goes up in smoke after that contact. He's going down into the bus stop, and oh, Edwards just turns right into Tate Lytle. They get it together. And then you see Vic Bloom. That might have been right as Edwards is going to take a tow. See Bloom trying to avoid. Oh, you see it disappeared. I think that was right when he took a tow. Yeah, it still got hit, got into Monticelli, so round goes Bloom. Wow. 9 cars left on the lead lap, and oh man, what a rough break for Tate Lytle. Now everyone has come down pit road. Johnny Eckert. They have come down. Yeah, Johnny Eckert. I think during all that excitement, he was down pit road. Pretty sure fuel only again for Johnny Eckert, or 2 tires. Holding on to a Bayuk as well. Top 3 fuel only Tate Lytle. You have to wonder if he didn't get in that wreck, what could have been. And they gotta wonder if that truck's still driving the same heavy damage to that 56 truck. So, and Vic Bloom looks like his night is gonna be done. A little bit too much damage after that contact with the 52 as he was pulling off the racetrack. Coming down to 3 laps to go. Johnny Eckert dominating the night. Oop. Oop. Going down into turn number 1. I believe we have an update in the YouTube chat. The paddle stopped working. That could have been what issues. Oh man, Bloom's still out on the racetrack. Still there. Now he's off the racetrack. Scary moments there. And now Marabella trying to work his way back up through the field. He's going to get around Dennis Weeks, move him up in the 6th position. Oh, Weeks still battling out on the outside, gets a good run. He's going to hold on to that 6th spot. Dylan Gooden needed that good run in 3rd spot. Looking good so far. Johnny Eckert coming down, 2 laps to go. Wonder if he's got the brooms in the back of the tailgate. It's gonna pull off the sweep. And hearing there might be a chance that the 56 might blow up with some of the damage he got after that contact with the 52. a stellar run. He finished 4th last half. Trying to hang on for another 4th place finish. Could have been a little bit better. This battle here for 6th position, still pretty hot. Coming down, one more lap to go for the Dominator, number 90, Johnny Eckert. All he needs to do, he can pretty much coast here from the rest of the way out. 14-second lead for Johnny Eckert. These other guys, Bayak there in 2nd place. See how big that lead is. Going through the S's one final time. Getting that momentum right before we go into the chase next week at Darlington. Johnny Eckert looks like he is showing a hot hand here, as he did all night long, setting the pace. Being fast all night long, and not only has the pace, he had the pit strategy as well. Gained time both times off pit road. Going through the final 2 corners here in the Watkins Glen Behemoth race, Johnny Eckert, Mr. Clutch, Mr. Dominator. It's coming Rome once again. He's going to pull out the brooms and he's going to sweep here tonight at Watkins Glen Behemoth race. Johnny Eckert picking up win number 2 of the night. Win number 4 of the season. Matthew Bayuk should be coming home here in 2nd as we see him coming down. He's going to get 2nd. Dylan Good 3rd. I think it's going to be a battle here between Frankenfield and Lytle for that 4th spot. Looks like Lytle will hang on 4th. Oh, they had fun going into turn 1. And Marabello 6th, week 7th. Schumann comes home in 8th. Westergreen comes home with a top 10, 9th place. And Nicholas Monticelli will round out the top 10. As those are, I think, the only 10 cars that finished this half. Is a lot of attrition in this race, but one guy who did not have any troubles all night long. His truck looked clean on both halves at the end of the night. That 90 truck of Johnny Eckert, what a win for him, as he's going to get ready to burn him down as we get ready for the playoffs next week at Darlington. And we do have our 3rd place finisher here in half number 2, Dylan Gooden, in the broadcast booth already. So we'll watch as we watch Johnny Eckert burn him down once again, picking up his 2nd win of the night. We do have Dylan Gooden here. And Dylan, it was a rough go in half number 1, but once you got that track position, it looked like things kind of turned around for you and had a solid night overall.
Yeah, out of the carousel in that first race, I was doing okay, and I got loose, and then I went to save it, and the left side of my wheel came off the clamp, and so I had no chance after that. And I don't really have any excuses after that. I looped it 2 more times and had another incident, and it wasn't the first half could not have went any worse. And the second race, it was just those first few laps. They kept wrecking, and we just kept shooting through and passing everybody, and we were consistent enough, and we stayed on the track and somehow got P3.
Yeah, and it seemed like something all night long. It seemed like no one had anything for the 90 here tonight of Johnny Eckert, but you had to be on such a razor's edge. So I think if you got out of your rhythm, maybe some mistakes were had. Could you maybe speak a little to that, how hard it was to, maybe to keep it on track?
Well, if I wanted to drive hard and be fast, that's when I was going to make those mistakes. The times when I tried to make a move on someone or outbrake someone, I looped it more times than not when I tried to do that. Honestly, it's if you just try to be consistent and easy with the throttle, you were gonna finish okay, and at least in the second race. And I mean, it's a handful. I don't like road courses. I despise them. And coming here and seeing Johnny kill us by like 10 seconds, it's a little disheartening, but for me, I am just totally ecstatic with P3. I hate road courses, so I'm just so excited.
Yeah, and another thing, you were on the bubble to get into the playoffs here tonight. So with that, third place finish, locked yourself into the playoffs, and now we're done with road courses. We're heading to Darlington next week. How do you feel about your chances now that the playoffs are going to be starting?
Well, we have the least amount of wins at everybody, but I think we'll be okay. Darlington is one of my best tracks on the service. And I'd been in kind of a rough stretch here. Like last week, I thought I was going to do okay, and like my computer crashed, and I crashed in one race, and my computer crashed in the other one. And before that, I mean, it's just been a string of bad luck. And I think hopefully this race means that we can get back on the right track, and hopefully we can get a win at Darlington and get to the top of the playoff board.
Yeah, no. Hopefully things will kind of pull an upset here. Kind of being the maybe the underdog going into the playoffs, but. With that, any shout-outs you want to give?
Underdog of the playoffs. I like that. Shout out to my girlfriend, Daddy, who said to give her a shout out if I got an interview. So there you go. And Castle Motors, your friend in the car business, been my longtime sponsor. Racing Underdogs on Twitter. They are sponsoring Brad Perez in the ARCA race tomorrow. Go watch that and cheer him on. And Voyager and Blue Emu. And you guys, thanks for putting on a great broadcast.
Thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see you making some noise next week at Darlington, and be that underdog that pulls it off.
Thank you, guys.
Dylan Gooden coming home tonight in third in half number 2, and now we'll bring in the guy who finished second here in half number 2, Matthew Bayak. We'll bring him on in. And Matthew, you led a few laps there in the first half on pit sequence, and overall had a decent night. Finished 6th, half number 1. And I don't know if anyone had anything for Johnny here tonight, but overall a solid. Oh, I think we lost Matthew there. Now we got Matthew back on, but anyway, Matthew, you got us? Maybe we don't have him. Maybe he didn't want to be in here. I don't know. Matthew, you got a copy? Matthew. Going once. Going twice. He's gone. So, now we'll bring in our winner now. And that is going to be the 90 of Johnny Eckert. He pulls off the sweep, and Johnny, man, I anointed you as the dominator here tonight because it looked like no one could beat you out there.
I was very well prepared for this race. This week, it seems like every league that I'm in or every series that I'm running is running at Watkins Glen this week. So this is coming into this race. Yeah, coming into this race, I had 260 laps on the track. So
wow.
Yeah, so this put me over 300, and then I have another 42 lap race tomorrow plus practice and all that. So I'm very well prepared for this track now.
So I mean, you at a lot of points in this race, you were about a second faster than anyone else on the racetrack. And it seemed like so many guys. I was even trying to make a few practice laps out there as well. And to be even somewhat quick, you have to be on the razor's edge, but you make it look so smooth. Is it just track repetition, or what is it that makes it look so smooth? And how close are you to that edge?
I was really comfortable with it. I wasn't necessarily on the edge for many laps. I was more out of control in practice, and I ran faster laps for that. But I was pretty, especially in the second race. This first race, I was like on the edge, but it was more me just trying to get by Chad. Chad got by me, and then I knew I had more pace than the two in front of me. I just had to do it. I had to get past them. So I was putting my limbs out there pretty much just to try to get past Chad and to go run down Riley. And then when I got by him, I really ran it out and was catching him at a pretty quick pace. But I had really done quite a bit of damage to the tires. In the second race, I was way more consistent because I got lucky with all the chaos that happened in front of me and avoiding it all. I was able to just navigate through it and keep my tires under me a little bit more. But yesterday I had a V8 race here. I had 3 V8 races here yesterday, 3 20-minute races, and it was open setup, so I was very much on edge trying to win those races, and I think that helped me quite a bit coming into today because the setup was a little shaky, especially through the S's. But if it wasn't for, I feel like if it wasn't for that practice and the amount of laps I put for that, I wouldn't have been as confident running in this race or in these races.
Yeah, it was. I say it seemed like you had all the confidence in the world, that's for sure. But I heard between half number 1 and half number 2, someone asked you, and now I think the statute of limitations is done since now you got the broom out and you sweep these victories. How many times did you change tires tonight?
0. No, I did not change tires at all. I in the first race I was debating it, but I knew I took the chance that when I say I was prepared, I mean I was really prepared. I had all the data about pit road and everything, every combination, and I knew what I needed to do. And I was concerned in the first race that Chad and Riley took tires that they would be able to catch up to me, given that I was having a little bit of trouble with the tires on the long run. So I took the chance and didn't take tires and thought, all right, well, if I come out in front, at least maybe I'll be able to hold them off. I was lucky enough that the couple laps that they were gaining on me, they got held up by lap traffic and bad spots and stuff, so it worked out in my favor. In the second race, I had an alternate strategy planned, taking tires and certain laps, depending certain situations, depending on what happens with traffic, getting through the guys in front of me. Somehow I just really got lucky that I got by everybody and I was running stupid fast laps. Like, I don't even know how I was running those laps because I had done a full run at this time earlier today, and like I was nowhere near this quick. So I don't know how it all worked out. I don't know maybe the grip or whatever, but I decided just to go with the no tire strategy once again. It didn't change anything. I probably could have taken tires, but yeah, I'm really surprised.
Yeah, it was quite a masterful show that you put on for sure. And it's weird now we're heading into the playoffs. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago when you picked up your first win and you were talking about how worried you were about even getting locked into the playoffs. And now you're in the playoffs. Now you have 3 wins under your belt. I believe 3 or 4. Four wins now. Oh, yeah, you had. I was talking about 3 wins during half number 1. Yeah, now you have 4. So now you have 4 wins. You have all the momentum on your side, it seems like. What do you think about your chances starting next week at Darlington moving forward?
I'm not totally sure. I'll be honest. I won. I didn't win last week, but it was the 2 weeks before that. So July 15th, July 22nd, then August 5th, where I got my wins this season. I don't know. Going into the tracks, I like the tracks. The finale really is in my wheelhouse. I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully I make it to that point in the playoffs. But, obviously there's a little bit of confidence because I was able to work out some of my, some of the little things that cost me. In qualifying, I was just super nervous for whatever reason. I felt like I had put a lot of pressure on myself to go put that lap down that was going to be like the lap, because I knew going into turn 1 it was going to be important to be in that position. So I was super stressed and nervous in qualifying, but I was able to work it out, for the races and put it behind me. Hopefully that helps me in the playoffs. But it's good tracks for me generally. Michigan's big question mark, but we'll see. it's better to go in, as far as I'm concerned, it's better to go into the playoffs with a dominating performance over a night, quote unquote, than to sit there and just kind of ride home. So I'm pleased. I'm very happy. I think it also protected my double win, protected one of my teammates from getting knocked out of the playoffs. So hopefully he'll be back next week. And yeah, it's decent confidence, but a little bit wary because it was Watkins Glen. It wasn't an oval like the rest of the races on the calendar.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you there. But with that, before we let you go celebrate your dominating performance, any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah. Well, first off, thank you for broadcasting this, because you guys do a fantastic job every week, and it's always fun to go back and watch. And I'm sure this one will be extra exciting for me to go back and watch. But yeah, I want to thank you guys and everybody who runs OSCA. For putting the show on every week. Thank you to everybody I was racing against. I mean, I raced Chad super hard, but he ran me clean. I think we only made contact once or twice, and it was minimal stuff. So it was really, really clean race in that regard. And I appreciate everybody running me clean. I want to thank my teammates, Dylan Gooden, who was really keeping me focused in the first race, as I was getting a little bit stressed out being stuck behind getting stuck behind cars. And stuck in traffic with the lap cars. But also DJ Weeks, who had a really tough go. He missed the grid on the second race, but still managed the top 10. So shout out to him for that. But yeah, I don't know what's up with my third teammate, Robert Hill. Hopefully everything's good with him. I haven't been able to contact him today, but hopefully he's all good. And yeah, I'm really happy. I'm really, really pleased. The amount of effort that we put into this track this week, and to come home with a pair of wins is good. The US told me weeks ago. He's like, yeah, well, you're gonna go to Watkins Glen, you're gonna dominate. I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see, because I'm not the best when it comes to being behind somebody. I can chase well, but passing him is a different story. Glad I kept him true to his word.
Yeah, and the crazy thing, I might not even be exaggerating when I say to have faster pace than a guy like Chad Frankenfield, he might have 1 million laps here. That I might not be exaggerating on that. So to be that prepared and have that dominant performance, it's something I'm sure you're gonna be proud of for a long time.
Yeah, I know last week Vic had mentioned that. I think he mentioned on the broadcast in his interview that he was expecting Chad to be the guy. And I think it was like an aside that I might be in the picture. I felt that was a bit of motivation for me too. Someone mentioned it to me that he mentioned that in the broadcast. I was like, yeah, this is my home track. I love this track. I've run a million races here too. I've got a ton of wins here. Everything about this place just clicks with me, and it's everybody's got that one track, and Watkins Glen has always been it for me. So home track, being from New York, and even though it's probably not the closest track, it just lights fire in me wanting to win. And yeah, this week it's been a pretty good week. I'm a little tired, but it's been a pretty good week. Pretty good result so far.
Yeah, so far.
Top 10.
What's that?
Top 10s in all 5 races. So I'll take it.
Heck yeah.
Second, 10th.
Heck yeah, that's a good showing. And hey, we'll let you go celebrate those victories. Awesome job, Johnny. And as always, we're probably expecting to talk to you at least at some point next week after Darlington.
Yeah, hopefully. And now, yeah, my bragging hour is over now. I apologize if it sounds like I'm bragging at all. I don't mean to be that way, but I'm so happy. I love this track. I love this. It's great.
Hey, you gotta love the true emotion that you're showing here tonight. Don't be ashamed by that by any means.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah, you bet. Johnny Eckert, ecstatic that he got the sweep here tonight. But with that, we're going to wrap things up here next week, heading into the playoffs at Darlington. Be sure to tune in right here on 3 Wide TV for the season or the playoff opening race at Darlington. And for Carlos Acosta, Mike. Oh, we do have one more interview. My bad. Is Bayak back in? Let's see. Oh, here he is. Okay, now we have. My bad. I was almost going to end the broadcast here tonight, but Matthew Bayak is back in. Do we have a copy now? Uh-oh. Right. Okay. Sorry, Matthew. Hey, we'll just tell Matthew. Hopefully, he can hear us. It was a good run there for Matthew here tonight. Good solidifying himself into the playoff grid with the second place run here at Watkins Glen. But with that, we'll now wrap up tonight's broadcast. And good luck to all the drivers in the playoffs next week. Again, you can tune in next week, same time, 7:50 Eastern, right here on 3 Wide TV. They'll be at Darlington. And for Carlos Acosta, I'm Mike Goodman. Thank you all for tuning in to tonight's race at Watkins Glen, and congratulations to Johnny Eckert on his sweep. Good night now.